Just make sure you grab a glass of water. If you want to start getting your palette wet, I recommend getting your brush wet and just kind of doing a dollop of water on each bead of paint to get it rehydrated, or at least the paint that you want to use, so it can soften up. You're not using too much water when you paint, because you want your ornament to be able to dry completely during the session so that you can add the pen and ink detail on top of it. Watercolor Galaxy. Yeah, that's kind of been the thing this year. I don't hate it. I love Galaxy stuff, as you know. I've been making these little manifest that-ish ornaments, and I have a magnet on the back so it can be used year-round, but it's really nice to hang it up on the walls too, because it's a pretty substantial little piece. I don't know what happened to my... Just kidding. Lost my video there for a second. So if you're doing a Galaxy, you can go ahead and prep your piece by wetting it entirely so that it's easier for you to get the paint on there and let it spread and bleed into each other if you're doing Galaxy themed. Pink and yellow is a good color. Oh, another tip that might help you choose your colors when you're doing Galaxy, it's really important that you choose colors that kind of contrast with each other. For instance, here I used purple and yellow, which are total opposites on the color wheel, because purple is made out of red and blue, and yellow is on the other side. So pink and yellow is a good choice. Those are very different colors. Oh, and you'll want to start on the side of the ornament that's rough, because that's the side that I put a coat of clear watercolor. And the side that's smooth is the one that I haven't actually treated, so be sure to work on the rough side, not the smooth side. Yeah, so go ahead and start wetting your ornament. It's not entirely important that it's on the treated side, it just makes life easier. For instance, I'm gonna work on this just raw wood piece, just to show you it's not too important, it's just a little bit easier to work with. And if you have any questions on like what's going on, if you feel like you're messing up or you're feeling uncomfortable, just let me know. I've run into so many mistakes and everything, so I've learned along the way, and I can help you not have to struggle so much. So you don't have to wet the entire thing because it will start drying, but at least on the side that you're starting on. So if you're right-handed, usually start on the left side so that you're not getting your hand dirty. So I'm gonna try to work on it with some darker colors, and keep in mind when you're working with watercolor, it's better to do like a nice thin layer and build up from there versus doing a very thick dark layer, and then you're not really able to go back and fix it. So I'm just showing you, see how it's kind of like bleeding into the cracks of the wood? So that's what happens when you don't treat it. But for this piece, I don't mind so much, so I'm gonna use it. And then I can show you what it's like when you're working on a treated piece. And if you want to bring in some air into your piece, like you feel like you covered it too much and it's looking too dark, you can always clean your brush and dip it into the white paint, and kind of dollop the white paint into the spaces that you want to lighten up. So I can kind of show you that real fast.
Do you believe in Santa Claus?
Hi there. Hello. So I'm going to be personally working on more than one piece because I work relatively quickly, but that way you can see by example, and I'll like explain it as I go, how to do the technique for galactic ornaments. But depending on which style you want to do, like I can guide you through that too. Mariah, what style were you going to work on?
It's Maria. It's a spell
Oh,
weird.
Maria.
No worries. And I was probably going to do the galactic. That sounds good.
Oh, awesome. So I was just letting everyone know, make sure you're working on the side of the ornament that has like kind of a rough feel on it, versus the smooth, because that has the treatment on it so that your paint won't bleed into the wood. And to make things a little bit easier for yourself, you can start wetting the top of your ornament so that when you put the paint down, it'll kind of bleed into each other nicely. And try to work lightly with the water. You don't want it to be too saturated because it needs to dry completely for you to be able to put stars in the end. Hi. Welcome.
What did I do?
So, do you have your directions with you too, Han? Did you know what style you wanted to do? What kind of style did you want to do? Did you want to do shapes or galaxy? We're all kind of
Right
working
here.
on galaxy, I think.
This is galaxy, this is the real one, this is the shapes, and this is the flowers. Which one?
What's
Galaxy?
Yeah.
Say
All
it
right.
then.
in the galaxy?
All right, sounds good. So you're gonna want to take your ornament that you have, and on the side that's nice and rough, not the smooth side. You can feel both sides. On the rough side, you want to wet the entire ornament with your water. So get your brush and wet the entire ornament, just like this. And then choose 2 or 3 of your favorite colors, and you're gonna doll up your favorite colors on top of it. A lot like this one here. And then when you've got a lot of soft colors going on in your ornament, you can start putting in some more hard edges once it starts drying a little bit. So clean off your brush.
Can we use our own colors?
You can use all the colors if you want. So dry your brush and pick up color, but not too much water. And then that way you can create kind of like a hard edge in your piece. So that you have a little bit more control. And the more dark spots you have in your piece, the more stars you can get in there. So you can always use black or dark blue to get in more dark spots. And no need to work as quickly as me. I'm just trying to show the technique. And I'll do a few ornaments. I love the cat, it's so cute.
Thank you. I like yours too.
Mine's a little dark and stormy. And if you make a mistake and you're putting in too much paint, you can always clean off your brush and then dry it off completely. Squeeze off the tip here, and then you can use it to pick up the paint, and then just wipe it off on your napkin or your cloth or whatever you have, like that. And you can always pick up your ornament if you find it's kind of awkward, and just hold it in your hand while you paint it. Just be careful not to make a mess. So anybody's onto their drying process, I can show you how I do stars, but make sure you're fully dry first. If you're lucky enough and you have a blow dryer or anything like that, you could always go quickly blow dry it on low. If not, just try to be patient, it'll dry. But in the meantime, I'll show you how I do my stars. So I have a couple examples here already from yesterday, but basically how I make them is I basically draw a cross, essentially. So just one long line down, and then higher up I do a shorter line, and then I just connect each point with a curved line. So it'll be like this. So it's kind of like that, and then you just fill it in. Obviously it'll be a lot smaller, or you can do it bigger on your piece, whichever you want. But that's the general shape. But there's lots of ways you could do stars. You could do the traditional 5-point star, just fill it in, or there's the asterisks. Those are cute. And then for when you're doing kind of the dots, I like to do varying sizes. So I'll do like big and then medium, small. And in general, when you're doing clusters of them, you want to stay away from doing perfect symmetrical even numbers and try to do like odd numbers and different sizes like randomly throughout your galaxy. And then I just stick to only drawing the white stars in like the super dark, deep dark areas, and then leaving some of the areas without stars to keep it from being too crazy. So only if your ornament's dry. And then you could always roll the gel pen in the palms of your hand like this. And what that does is it warms up the ink and gets it flowing. So if it's a little bit dry because it's so cold, and then you can give it a good slap. And then roll it on your scrap paper until you see that it's coming out nicely. And when you're drawing with gel pens, try to do it as light as possible. Because imagine it's kind of like a little ball on the tip of the pen. So the ball needs to roll freely across the wood, versus if you press down, the ball kind of gets pushed up into the pen and then you won't be able to draw anything. So I'll do my first little star. I like to do the star shapes first and get them placed, and then do the little dots after. Kind of set the mood. And if you find that the stars aren't white enough, you could always just let it dry completely and then go over it again once it's dry with the pen, very lightly though, so that you're not scraping the paint off. Galaxy isn't perfect, so it's not looking exactly how you imagined. It's totally fine.
Did you add a lot of paint to get that saturation level?
For this, it's not too much about the amount of paint. It's more about less water. So if you want to have less of a soft look, try to not have your brush be so wet. So a good technique is just to put a couple drops on your paint, let it kind of soak in, and then only use the drops that were in the paint to paint your ornament instead of dipping your paintbrush over and over.
Okay.
Yeah, and you could always just let your ornament dry and then go over with another layer once it's a little less wet.
Okay.
Spotlight. That's not what I wanted to do. Let's see. Oh, I didn't have it spotlighted this whole time. Sorry, guys. Okay, now you can see what I'm doing. I'll probably end up explaining everything again. So if you're not ready to do stars, no problem. And you can put a few of the little dot stars in the lighter areas too. Not as much, just a little bit, and it kind of gives this like ethereal look to it, like you're looking through the clouds. My hummingbird's dry. Hopefully that means everyone's ornament's dry too. You could also use a paper towel and very gently dab your watercolor, but be careful because you might pick up some paint in the process. If that happens, super easy. Just use your brush and kind of blend in the paint into where you lost the paint. So like pick up a little bit of paint from there and move it over here. And if you're working on wet paint and your gel pen starts picking up that color and you're making like pink dots, for instance, just get your scrap paper and just clean it off by making a few lines. And again, try to work as lightly as possible so that you're not picking up the paint.
Sleigh bells rang and the choir of angels singing. Cheeks a little rosy, I had me a couple sips. When I dip and shit my gift, she misses calls. To the planet, spread that magic, flying high through the stars. Only thing on my wish list to come home for Christmas. See pops in the kitchen, whipping up delicious dishes. Snowflakes falling fast. Trying to make the moment last. Watching as it melts away. Just as quickly as it came. Cousins out back lighting up the tree. Got me mad at them cause they ain't invite me. I'm no saint like Nicholas. Nephew little mischievous. Run around playing games, acting all ridiculous. Know that mama got the spirit every year. Even feel the energy, y'all, the family wizard here. So let's just slow it down for a second. Moon bouncing off the snow. I'm just sitting back reflecting. Snowflakes falling fast. Trying to make the moment last.
Ooh, I love it. Are those black stars? That's pretty cool. How's everyone doing? Good? If you're feeling ambitious, you could always work on the other side of your ornament too. Like I did with this one, it didn't matter which side it was on, so. I have a question on Instagram. Yes, I'm painting on wood. Before painting on wood, if you decide to do this at home, all you have to do is put a layer, a clear layer of watercolor ground, and you can find that at any art supply store. Just allow it to dry and it's good to go. And I also did like a pattern on top of one of the galaxies. So if you want to do anything like this in black, or like with here, I did white and then I outlined it in black. You could do that too. So you could do like an initial or your name. make it more personal.
I'm done.
You're done? Can I see? Oh, cool.
Wow.
That's pretty awesome. It's gonna look great on the tree, huh?
I think we don't have a tree.
Oh, that's okay. You can hang it up on the wall too. Lauren, is that both, is that the pink and yellow side or is it a different side?
Oh, I just did it on the other side. But is it supposed to be kind of liney? On this
Yeah,
side? Oh, okay.
on that side it'll be liney.
I
But what
finished
you
with
can
the
do,
yellow side.
what you can do to help with the lininess is when it dries a little bit, try to use paint that isn't so wet, and then you can lay it on there and then just wet your paintbrush a little bit to blend it in, so
Okay.
it won't bleed as much.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course. Is everyone finished? No, not yet. Did you need help with anything? Any questions?
Just trying to figure out how to draw stars now that this is dry a little.
Yeah. Yeah, these stars can be a little tough to draw, but the cross technique definitely helps me. You could also just do like just a regular, like a plus sign and do like stars that way. I just like the long tail because it kind of gives a little bit more length and dimension.
What do I do now?
If you're all done, I can take a picture of your piece. You want to hold it up in front of your face? Just right in front. Like up on the screen. Perfect. Good job. You can ask your mom to post it too, so I can show everybody.
Good job.
Okay, and that's pretty much my workshop for galactic painting of ornaments. If you have any questions and you need some help on any techniques or more clarification, feel free to leave a comment and I'll do my best to explain it online. Or you could always email me or attend my next workshop. If you'd like to, make sure you sign up for my subscription, well, not subscription, but my email list and subscribe there on my website so you know when I'm having my next workshop, or you can turn on notifications on Instagram to make sure that you know what's happening next. Alright, thank you so much for watching my tutorial and happy holidays!
You know,